Good day, everyone. Our report for today is all about Republic Act number 8749, otherwise known as the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. This act providing for a comprehensive air pollution control policy and for other purposes. This act also tries to control the increasing rate of air pollution that could contaminate and kill millions of people. Ginawa itong batas na ito upang magpapahinto at magpapahina ng ratings ng maruming hangin na sanhi ng maruming kapaligiran na dulot ng usok ng mga sasakyan, mga factory, at iba pang struktura na magbubuga ng maruming usok na kayang kumitil na maraming buhay. The act that could give balance and appropriate right for every individual in order for them to experience a healthful and clean air within the environment they live. Magbabalanse rin itong act na ito ng kalagayan at sistema ng bawat individual na sa gayon ay makakadama at makakaranas din sila ng sariwang hangin na dulot ng malinis na kapaligiran. Number 3, this act also tries to give protection and harmonious nature in able to give benefit of the people. Sa pamagitan ng batas na ito ay makakasiguro tayo na lahat ng tao ay makakapamuhay ng maluwag at maayos na sitwasyon. Number 4, the act that aims to achieve and maintain healthy air for all Filipinos. Sa pamamagitan ng batas na ito, ay mas mapapabuti at maiingatan natin ang ating kalikasan laban sa maruming usok dulot ng maruming kapaligiran. There are 5 declarations of principle. These are the targets of the Clean Air Act of 1991. Number 1, the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. With this, it can guarantee to have a wonderful harmonious environment for the people and the nature. Number 2, the state shall promote and protect the global environment to attain sustainable development while recognizing the primary responsibility of local government units to deal with environmental problems. In this declaration, the target of this is to give recognition to the environmental relations to be able to surpass all the problems that the environmental have. Number 3, the state recognizes that the responsibility of cleaning the habitat and environment is primarily area-based. In this, it is very important to have responsibility, especially in cleaning environment and all areas, so that it can guarantee us to have a good quality of habitat of all humans and other stuff. Number 4, the state also recognizes the principle that polluters must pay. All violators must pay equivalent to the things they destroy and violate so that every individual has equality. Number 5, and lastly, the state recognizes that a clean and healthy environment is for the good of all and should therefore be the concern of all. With this, it can guarantee to have a good yet clean and healthy environment that could help us to have a harmonious life within. Thank you. There are 5 declarations of principle. These are the targets of the Clean Air Act of 1991. Number 1, the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. With this, it can guarantee to have a wonderful harmonious environment for the people and the nature. Number 2, the state shall promote and protect the global environment to attain sustainable development while recognizing the primary responsibility of local government units to deal with environmental problems. In this declaration, the target of this is to give recognition to the environmental relations to be able to surpass all the problems that the environmental have. Number 3, the state recognizes that the responsibility of cleaning the habitat and environment is primarily area-based. In this, it is very important to have responsibility, especially in cleaning environment and all areas, so that it can guarantee us to have a good quality of habitat of all humans and other stuff. Number 4, the state also recognizes the principle that polluters must pay. All violators must pay equivalent to the things they destroy and violate so that every individual has equality. Number 5, and lastly, is the state recognizes that a clean and healthy environment is for the good of all and should therefore be the concern of all. With this, it can guarantee to have a good yet clean and healthy environment that could help us to have a harmonious life within. Thank you. We should take good care of our environment so that we can live life to the fullest.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmate. I am Chesa Lorchi Caligao, and I am the reporter for today about air pollutant and air pollution. So, air pollutant means any matter found in the atmosphere other than oxygen, nitrogen, water vapor, carbon dioxide, and the inner gases in their natural or normal concentrations that is detrimental to health or the environment, which includes but not limited to smoke, dust, soot, cinders, fly ash, solid particles of any kind, or like gases, fumes, chemical mist, steam, and radioactive substances. So when we say air pollutant, it is a blend of airborne solid particles and gases. Kumbaga, ang air pollutant, ito yung sanhi or causes kung bakit tayo merong pollution sa ating environment. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmate. I am Chesa Lorchi Caligao, and I am the reporter for today about air pollutant and air pollution. So, air pollutant means any matter found in the atmosphere other than oxygen, nitrogen, water vapor, carbon dioxide, and the inner gases in their natural or normal concentrations that is detrimental to health or the environment, which includes but not limited to smoke, dust, soot, cinders, fly ash, solid particles of any kind, or like gases, fumes, chemical mist, steam, and radioactive substances. So when we say air pollutant, it is a blend of airborne solid particles and gases. Kumbaga, ang air pollutant, ito yung sanhi or causes kung bakit tayo merong pollution sa ating environment. So, in short, for this topic, pollutant is the cause of pollution, and the pollution is the cause of pollutants that makes the air non-breathable. So that as a human being or a student, we need to become more responsible in what we are doing every day. We need to care our Mother Earth or environment always. We need to planting trees or segregates anything that can cause pollution to our environment. To prevent the environmental crimes is that we should minimize doing so. We should be aware that the calamities that we are suffering this generation is due to the recklessness of human. So that we need to care our Mother Earth, and we always remember that health is our wealth. So that's all for today, and thank you.
So good day, ma'am. So now I'm going to discuss the section 5 that we call definition of terms. So one of the definition of terms of Republic 8749, it is the certificate of conformity. So it means a certificate issued by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to a vehicle manufacturer assembler or importer certifying that a particular new vehicle or vehicle type meets the requirements provided under this act and its rules and regulations. So this it means, ma'am, the certificate of conformity, it is issued by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, in short, DNR. So it emphasizes that it must the vehicle, the manufacturer of vehicle and assembler or import, it must certify that meets the requirement under this act and its rules and regulation. And that's the meaning of certificate of conformity. And the next definition is the eco profile, means the geographical based instrument for planners and decision makers which present an evaluation of the environmental quality and carrying capacity of an area. It is an information on natural resources and other anthropogenic activities on the land which are evaluated by various environment risk assessment and forecasting methodologies that enable the department to anticipate the type of development control necessary in the planning area. So the eco profile, ma'am, it's a geographical based instrument. So it based in geographical. So it is for planning and decision making that present the evaluation of the environment quality. So it represent the it plan and take a decision that present on how environmental quality and carrying capacity of an area, on what is the capacity of an area, it make a decision, and it is a result of integrate of primary and secondary data of the information in that national resources and anthropogenic activities on the land. So that's the eco profile. So the next definition that I will explain is the hazardous substances. It means the those substances which present either short-term acute hazard such as acute toxicity by ingestion, inhalation, or skin absorption, corrosivity, or other skin or eye contact hazard, or the risk of fire explosion or long-term toxicity upon repeated exposure, carcinogenicity, which in some cases result in acute exposure but with a long latent period, resistant of detoxification process such as biodegradation that is to pollute underground or surface water. So the meaning of this definition, hazardous substances, it means the hazards as toxicity by ingestion, inhalation, absorb, absorption. So it is like it, I give example to this. I think the substance of when it have a fire explosion, the substance of that is can affect. So that is called hazard substances. So that's the meaning of hazardous substances. So the next is, so we're done with section 5. Let's proceed on section 8. So the section 8 present that air quality control action plan. So this means that within 6 months after the formulation of the framework, the department shall, with public participation, formulate and implement an air quality control action plan consistent with section 7 of this act. So within 6 months, after formulation of the framework, so it formulate and implement an air quality control action plan consistent on. So after 6 months, it formulate the framework, implement an air quality control. It must have a quality control in action plan to be consistent in section 7 of this act. So and we'll tackle about that. So the next is section 12. uh, ambient air quality guideline values and standards. So the department, in coordination with other concerned agency, shall review and or revise and publish annually list of hazardous air pollutants with corresponding ambient guideline values and or standards necessary to protect public health and safety and general welfare. So on section 12, ambient air quality guideline values, it is the coordination and concern of agency that review and revise and publish a list of that review the list of hazardous air pollutant with corresponding ambient guideline values in or standard necessary to protect. It is the role of this ambient air quality guideline is to protect the public health and safety by controlling the air pollution. So that's the meaning of ambient air quality guideline. It guidelines values and standards to be consistent and to get a goal mm, to solve the hazardous air pollutants. So next is, so we're going to permits. So in section 16, so consistent with the provision of this act, the department shall have the authority to issue permit as it may determine necessary for the provision and abatement of air pollution. So the permit, it consists with provision of this act. The department must have only the authority to issue a permit to determine the prevention and abatement of air pollution. So that's the permits. The only can issue is the department. So next is the pollution from stationary sources. So section 19. So the department shall within 2 years from the effectivity of this act, and every 2 years thereafter review or as the need therefore arises, revise and publish emission standard to further improve the emission standard for stationary sources of air pollution. So the pollution from stationary sources. So the department within 2 years from the effectivity review or arises, revise and publish emission standard to improve the emission standard for stationary sources of air pollution. So it improved after 2 years. It improved the stationary sources of air pollution. So it review and arises, revise, and that's the role of that, and publish emission standards. So that's section 19. So let's proceed in pollution from motor vehicles. So section 21. So the DOTC shall implement the emission standard for motor vehicles set pursuant to it as provided in this act. To further improve the emission standard, the department shall review, revise and publish the standard every 2 years, or as it shall consider the maximum level for all major pollutants to ensure substantial improvement in air quality for the health, safety and welfare. So this section 21, pollution from motor vehicles. So the DETC, it implement the standard for motor vehicles set to provide in this act to improve the emission standard. So vice the standard every 2 years. So this section 21, it maximum limit of all major pollutant to ensure substantial to improvement in air quality for the health, safety and welfare for the general public. So next, that is the pollution from, so we are done with that. So let's proceed in, so regulation of all motor vehicles and engines. So So the regulation in so any imported used motor vehicles use new or any imported new. Okay. So now, so we're back in section 12, ambient air quality guidelines, values and standard. So this section 12 meaning that the department in coordination with other concerned agencies shall review and revise and publish annually a list of hazardous air pollutants with corresponding ambient guideline values and or standard necessary to protect public health and safety and general welfare. So itong section 12 ito ang department na so ang department ito nag-coordinate sa mga others agency and nag-review ito, nag-revise ng annual list of hazardous air pollutants with corresponding na nag-correspond sa mga guideline and values and standard para ito maging para maprotektahan ang public health and safety and general welfare. So ganyan yung general section 12 ambient air quality guideline values and standards. So next is section so ito yung ambient air quality guideline values and standards. So meron ito pollutants, short term and long term. So nag-average sa nakato na sulfur dioxide so 180, nitrogen dioxide so 150, photochemical oxidants so 140, as ozone 60, carbon monoxide so 3 mg and 10 mg. So yan yung short term. So yung long term average sa term yung 24 hours 1 hour 8 hours and 1 hour and 8 hours. So meron yung time 1 year 24 hours. So ganyan yung ambient air quality guideline values. So we're back na meaning niya ay nag-review siya ng hazardous air pollutants para ng guideline to protect the public health and safety. So ganyan yung ambient air quality guideline values and standards. So next naman ay punta naman tayo sa permits. So section 16. So consistent with the provision of this act, the department shall have the authority to issue permit as it may determine necessary for the provision abatement of air pollution. So ito sa pag-release ng permit ang ano talaga ito ay ang department lang talaga may authority sa pagbigay ng permit para din sa mga prevention and abatement sa air pollution. So nakakatulong ito sa pag-attain and maintain ng ambient air quality standards. So yes, kasi through sa permit cover ito ng emission limitation for the regulated air pollutants to help attain and maintain the ambient air quality standard. So para ma-maintain ang ambient air quality standard. So ito ang managed tools for the LGUs in the Department of their action plan. So ganyan yung ng permits dito sa law na to, Republic Act 749. So next naman move naman tayo sa section 19, which is pollution from stationary sources. So the department shall within 2 years from the effectivity of this act and every 2 years thereafter review or as need to thereof arises revise and publish emission standard to further improve the emission standard for. So section 19, pollution from stationary sources. So ang department sa 2 taon na effectivity of this act at 2 taon thereafter review. It dapat nga yung i-improve ng emission standard for stationary sources of air pollution. So nag-improve ito ng emission standard para sa stationary sources of air pollution. So next naman tayo, punta naman tayo sa pollution from motor vehicles. So marami sa atin naman yun, marami talang mga motor vehicles, so it affects the air pollution. So naging kasali na to sa Republic Act. So ito ang meaning ng Section 21, pollution from motor vehicles. So the DOTC shall implement the emission standard for motor vehicles set pursuant to provided in this act. To further improve the emission standard, the department shall review, revise, and publish the standards every 2 years, or as the need arises, it shall consider the maximum limit for all major pollutants to ensure substantial improvement in air quality for the health, safety, and welfare of the. So ang nag-implement ito ang DOTC na dapat ano yung standard ng motor vehicles pursuant dito sa law, to improve the emission standard. Ang department nag-review and revise ng publish every 2 years. Yes, it's still considered maximum limits for all major. Rule ito is to ensure substantial improvement. So ang role nito ang na-improve ito ng in air quality for the health, safety, and welfare of the general public. So ganyan yung meaning ng Section 21, which is pollution from motor vehicles. So next naman tayo, so ito naman yung following emission standard for type approval of motor vehicles shall be effected by the year of 2003. So for light duty, the exhaust emission limits for gaseous pollution shall be, so ito emission limits for light duty vehicles. So type approval, so Directive 91/441 EEC and COHC plus NOPM, yes, ngayon 2.72, 0. So ito yung mga yung following emission standard for type of approval of motor vehicles shall be effective by the 2003. So 2003 yan shall be effective. So next naman ay it is for light commercial vehicles. Meron din tayong for light commercial vehicles emission limit for light commercial vehicles. So type approval, so Directive 93 and 59 EEC, reference with COHC and plus NOPM. So yun natin mga na reference with nila sa kilogram. So ganyan yung for light commercial vehicles. So ang next naman natin ay yung heavy duty vehicles and type approval. Directive nito is 91/542 EEC, CHCO, HCNO, and PM. So ganyan yan. So next naman natin yung violation of standard for stationary sources. So ang violation naman sa standard sa stationary sources for actual exceedance of any pollution or air quality standard under this act or its rule and regulation, the department or the pollution adjudication board shall impose a fine of not more than 100,000 pesos for every day of violation against the owner or operator of stationary source until such time that the standard have been complied with. So ito naman ang fine na standard for stationary sources is 100,000 for every day of violation. So ganyan yung violation. Yes. So punta naman tayo sa fines and penalties. So for violation of all other provision provided in this act of the rules and regulation thereof, a fine of not less than 10,000 pesos. So it's not more than 100,000 pesos, or 6 months to 6 years imprisonment for both shall be imposed if the offender is juridical person, the president, manager, director, trustees, the pollution control officer, or the official directly in charge of the person shall suffer the penalty herein provided. So, yun lahat yung report ngayon. So, mm, all thing that I say that it must improve the air pollution, air quality of the air of our air, because it's important in our environment. So that's all. Thank you. Good day.